Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 16th of December 2020. You can see here the two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 9 to 10 very important and the most important current affairs of the 16th of December. So watch the video till the end. But before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that how you can buy our Affairs Cloud PDFs, and this subscription you can buy with two methods. First, you can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box of this video, and under the description box there is a link provided to you. By clicking on that link, you can directly visit the subscription area. Now what you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily wise PDF. In the daily wise PDF, you will get two PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs of particular day, and second is the question and answer PDF. It means these theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer of particular day. Next is the weekly PDF, all the current affairs arranged according to the week wise. Next is the weekly test. It is very important to evaluate yourself that how much current affair you can retain for long time period. Next is guys monthly PDF, and it is most important section because in the monthly PDF section we are providing you 5 PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs of the month. Next is the question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can retain the current affair for long time period. Next is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair before your exam. It means you can revise the current affair very quickly. Next is banking, finance and the economy PDF. It is very important for those aspirants especially who are preparing for the banking exam. Last section, that is the question and answer PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you of particular month, and these current affairs are provided to you in the form of question and answer. So it is very important because you can revise top 100 current affairs and in the form of question and answer. So this subscription comes at very minimal cost guys. If you see the price, you definitely surprised, and on that minimal price we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, that is ASH10, then you will get 10% extra discount on that minimal cost. So let's start today's current affair of 16th of December. Here is our first question. And firstly, we are starting the most important section, and in the most important section, here is our first question. What is the name of second ship of Project 17A class of stealth frigates which was recently launched in Calcutta? So I am talking about second ship of Project 17A class of stealth frigates which was recently launched in Calcutta. Because first ship which was launched under 17A class of stealth frigate was INS Nilgiri. Now I am talking about the second one. And the launch is INS Himgiri. So remember this answer guys, it is INS Himgiri. You have to remember this answer. Answer is B, INS Himgiri. So remember guys, this project 17A was started in 2015, started by 2015 by the government of India, and under this 17A program, Nilgiri class includes construction of 7 ships. Under these 7 ships, 4 will be built by Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders, it means MDL, and 3 will be built by GRSE. GRSE stands for Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers. Remember, 4 will be built by Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, and 3 will be built by GRSE. GRSE stands for Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers. And this is INS Himgiri. Already INS Nilgiri launched. You can see here, Project 17 is stealth frigate INS Himgiri launched at GRSE Yard, Calcutta. It means it is launched in Calcutta. You can also see here, it is built by Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, because I already covered this point that 3 ships will be built by this organization. The chief guest of the launch ceremony was General Bipin Rawat, one and only person of the Chief of Defence Staff. So how this word comes in mind, that the name Himgiri is taken from the frigate of the Lander class of INS Himgiri, which was launched 50 years ago in 1970 and decommissioned in 2005. It means already it was under use, but in 2005 it was decommissioned. The Project 17A program, also called the Nilgiri class. Just remember this Nilgiri class because first ship was the Nilgiri class and second is the Himgiri. A construction of 7 ships, 4 will be built by Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders and 3 will be built by the GRSC. So remember this. It means total are 7. Already 2 are launched and next are Udaygiri, Dunagiri, Taragiri, Vindhyangiri, Mahendragiri. All are the names of mountains. All are the name of mountains. Nilgiri, Udaygiri, Dunagiri, Taragiri, Vindhyangiri, Mahendragiri. So these are the names of mountains. So remember this. And recently, Indian Navy also started the mission of Sagar, or you can say the Indian government started the mission Sagar, under which they are providing the assistance to friendly foreign countries to overcome natural calamities and the COVID-19 pandemic. So remember this mission Sagar. So now we are moving to the next important question. Which country will host the 26th session of the Conference of Parties? It is COP26. You can just remember this COP26 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is scheduled to be take place in November 2021. So this United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change, you can remember this Convention on Climate Change, COP26 will be held in 2021 in which country? And answer is Scotland. And in Scotland it will be held in Glasgow. So remember, yesterday we covered this question about the World Economic Forum. So remember, World Economic Forum 2021 meeting will be held by or will be hosted by Singapore. Remember, it will be hosted by Singapore, but Convention on Climate Change, or you can say COP26, will be hosted by Scotland, or you can say Glasgow. And guys, you have to remember one more important thing, that on 12th of December, we mark the 5th anniversary of Paris Agreement, because Paris Agreement is related to the climate change and it was signed in 2015. And in 2020, it is the 5th anniversary of the Paris Agreement. So remember, on the 12th December, there was a virtual summit known as the Climate Ambition Summit 2020. You can see here, Climate Ambition Summit 2020. And from the Indian side, it is addressed by Narendra Modi. It is addressed by our Prime Minister, that is Narendra Modi. And this meeting or this summit is hosted by so many countries, but you can remember 2 names. One is United Kingdom, second is the United Nations and the France. But you can also see here, this virtual summit was held to provide a platform for the government and the non-governmental leaders to demonstrate their commitment to the Paris Agreement and the multilateral process. It means we can complete our Paris Agreement basically commitments so that the climate can be saved. And the main aim of this summit is the sprint to Glasgow. Why Glasgow? Because in 2021, the schedule of the COP26, you can say, or the climate convention can be happen in Glasgow, Scotland. You have to remember this. This is the most important thing. And this was co-hosted by United Kingdom, United Nations, France, Chile, and the Italy. But you can remember only the United Kingdom. And remember, it is the 5th anniversary of Paris Agreement. So let's move to the next question. You can see here, what is the theme of FICCI's? What is the theme of FICCI's? That is Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry Annual Convention. Because it was the 93rd convention, because FICCI was established in 1927 and it is the 93rd annual general meeting of the FICCI's. And it is addressed by Prime Minister Modi ji. And you already know that who is currently appointed as the president or the chairman of the FICCI. So who is president? Who is the current president? Who is recently appointed? Uday Shankar. So you have to remember Uday Shankar. And the theme of this FICCI's annual meeting is Inspired India. Remember, Inspired India. You can see here, the FICCI's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed 93rd annual general meeting and annual convention. Theme is the Inspired India. You can also see here, it was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi ji on December 12, 2020, and his inaugural address highlighted the success of financial inclusion, so that maximum to maximum person can be attached with the banks and they can use the banking services through the Trinity. It means the government uses the 3 services for the financial inclusion, known as the JAM in short. J stands for the Jandan, A stands for the Aadhaar, and M stands for the mobile. So that maximum to maximum government services can reach with the very easy methods like Jandan accounts, Aadhaar, and the mobile. Modi ji inaugurated the year-long FICCI's annual Expo 2020 so that maximum to maximum focus on manufacturing and service sector can be enhanced. It means the manufacturing and service sector can be increased or the enhanced so that maximum to maximum unemployment can be decreased, because by the increasing investment in the manufacturing and service sector we can reduce the unemployment. And is the official tweet of the FICCI that 93rd annual convention will be hosted by the Prime Minister Modi ji, or you can say addressed by the Prime Minister Modi ji. So friends, you have to remember one most important related news of the FICCI, that FICCI's FLO group, that is FICCI's ladies group, also tie up with the Indian Institute of Management, Shillong. It means I am talking about IIM Shillong, to mentor women's entrepreneurs. It means to increase the availability of the women entrepreneurs. So remember, the institute is IIM Shillong. So you have to remember this. Now, one more important thing, that this FLO group also tie up with the National Skill Development Corporation. National Skill Development Corporation to provide the skill training to promote the women entrepreneurship. So you have to remember, this FLO group ties up with the two organizations. One is the National Skill Development Corporation, second is the IIM Shillong. And this FICCI was established in 1927 and current president is Uday Shankar. Now moving to our next question, the first trilateral working group meeting was held virtually between India, Iran and which country to discuss the joint use of the Chabhar port? Very important port for India, because to tackle the one belt one road we have to build this port, and this is Chabhar port, and this is situated in which country? This is situated in Iran, guys. Remember, this is situated in Iran. So this meeting was held between India, Iran and not Afghanistan, guys, it is Uzbekistan. So you have to remember, this trilateral working group meeting was held between India, Iran and the Uzbekistan, not the Afghanistan. But we firstly established the Chabhar port for the trilateral agreement between the three countries like India, Iran and the Afghanistan. But now new countries are adding up, and the new country is Uzbekistan. You can see here, Iran, India and the Uzbekistan hold first trilateral meeting to joint use of the Chabhar port. You can also see here, Uzbekistan and Iran supported India's proposal of holding Chabhar Day. India proposed that we have to celebrate the Chabhar Day so that maximum to maximum trade can be enhanced. On the sidelines of the International Maritime Summit, which will be hosted by India in January 2021. This is again most important question, that International Maritime Summit will be hosted by which country? It is hosted by India. It is located in the southern eastern part of the Iran on the Gulf of Oman, or the Oman is being developed by India. You can see in the picture also that this is the Chabhar port, and you can see here this is Gulf of Oman. And you can see here the another port there, Gwadar port or the Gwadar port. This is developed by China in Pakistan. So it is very important and very strategic location that is chosen by the Iran, India and the Afghanistan, that these three countries, or now fourth is the Uzbekistan, that these four countries can use this port as a trade port, and they can tackle this Gwadar port and also tackle the dominance of the China. So you can also see here, it is the just on the Gulf of Oman. So you have to remember this by the general knowledge point. It is essential for India as to provide a way for India to bypass Pakistan goods to Afghanistan and other countries via the sea route. It means we don't have to go from the China. Now we can directly connect the Iran, Afghanistan and the other countries from this port. It also holds strategic importance as it is just 170 kilometers away from the Gwadar port built in Pakistan by China. So you can see here, this port is just 170 kilometers from the Gwadar port. It means maximum countries can use our Chabhar port, because India has maximum raw materials, and India can basically export maximum to maximum raw materials to the other countries by the Chabhar port. So this is very much important question, and that's why this question marks under the most important section. So in this question, two countries are important here. One is the Iran, second is the Uzbekistan. Iran's president is Hassan Rouhani. Remember, Hassan Rouhani. Capital is Tehran, and what is the currency? It is Iranian Rial. And guys, what about Uzbekistan? Uzbekistan president is Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Capital is Tashkent and currency is Uzbekistani Som. Remember, Uzbekistani Som. Now we can move to other question, and here is our next question. What is the name of Indian Coast Guard offshore patrol vessel which was recently commissioned at the Goa Shipyard Limited? Now we are talking about offshore patrol vessel which was recently commissioned at Goa Shipyard Limited. Because you all know that in 2008 the Mumbai attacks happened and the Indian government decided to start a program to triple the Indian Coast Guard force assets and the infrastructure. So Ministry of Defense in 2010 basically started to build these type of the ships that is known as the ICGS ships, or you can say the Indian Coast Guard ships, so that from the you can say the Navy side we can tackle maximum to maximum problems. And this time it is the second basically you can say the Indian Coast Guard offshore patrol vessel, and name is ICGS Sujit. You can remember because I am talking about recently, because in the last months one more ship was launched, that is ICGS Sachet. You can remember because in May 2020 ICGS Sachet commissioned. ICGS Sachet commissioned. But now on the 12th of December and the 15th of December ICGS Sujit commissioned. Then after that ICGS Sajag, ICGS Sarthak, and one more is there, ICGS Saksham. It means there are 5 basically, but total there are 11. They are 11, but in the second series they are 5, because already 6 are going on, like Samarth, Shur, Sarthi, Shonak, Shaurya, Sujay, and in this series Sachet, Sujit, and 3 are remaining now: Sajag, Sarthak, and the Saksham. But you have to remember we are talking about the recently, then it is Sujit. You can see here Coast Guard ship Sujit commissioned in Goa. You can also see here the vessel has been designed to build indigenous by the Goa Shipyard Limited. It means all things will be built by the Goa Shipyard Limited, and others also Coast Guard ships will be built by the Goa Shipyard Limited. The first ship in series ICGS Sachet, the first one, the ICGS Sachet, was commissioned by the Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in May 2020. I already covered this point. It is equipped with the features like integrated bridge system, integrated platform management system, power management system, and high power external firefighting, and maximum to maximum features are there, so that maximum to maximum problem can be tackled. So you have to remember the name. This is the most important thing: ICGS Sujit. ICGS Sujit. There are 3 pending: ICGS Sajag, ICGS Sarthak, and Saksham. Now moving to very important section, and here is our first question in the very important section. IBM collaborates with which state to offer online skill development programs for students of the state? It means this International Business Machine, the company, collaborates with the which state government so that they can provide the skill development programs and can basically provide the training of the new technological tools. So IBM ties up with one state, and the state government is Telangana. So remember, the answer is Telangana. You can see here IBM collaborates with the Telangana Academy for the Skilled Knowledge, also known as the TASK, announced collaboration to provide online courses for the students known as the Open PTech. Open PTech. You can see here IBM announced collaboration with the Telangana Academy for the Skill and Knowledge to offer free degree and polytechnic courses on the emerging technologies to empower 30,000 students per year through IBM's free digital education platform Open PTech. So it means they will provide the best to best technology knowledge so that the future generation can be ready for the new technology. So they will offer cyber security, blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing, internet of things, and design thinking. It means these are the new type of the technology, and maximum people of the India don't know about this technology. So especially the youth. So that's why they are basically focusing on the youth, so that maximum to maximum future ready technology can be skilled, or the future generation can be skilled with the new technology. The main age group under this program is 18 to 22 years. And friends, you have to remember one more important thing, that Telangana state has launched a blockchain district and also dedicated the year of 2020. This is important and you have to remember this. Telangana state dedicated the year of 2020 as the year of artificial intelligence. The year of artificial intelligence, and the state is Telangana. And Telangana's capital is Hyderabad, also known as the biryani capital of India. So much delicious biryanis, and the very much types of biryanis are basically cooked in Hyderabad. And there is a city of pearls also, that is also Hyderabad. So you have to remember this. Now moving to our next very important question. 9th Sustainable Mountain Development Summit 2020 took place virtually in which state? I am talking about the main keyword is Sustainable Mountain Development Summit, and it is hosted by which state, or it is held or took place in which state? It is held in Uttarakhand, a very important state, and exact place is Dehradun. Remember, Dehradun. You can see here, this is the Sustainable Mountain Development Summit in the Dehradun, Uttarakhand, and the theme is Emerging Pathways for Building a Resilient Post-COVID-19 Mountain Economy, Adaptation, Innovation and the Acceleration. So much life is difficult in the mountain area. So to enhance the skills, and you can say to enhance the livability in the Himalayan areas, so that's why this summit took place, Sustainable Mountain Development Summit. So you can see here the theme of this Sustainable Mountain Development Summit, Emerging Pathways for Building a Resilient Post-COVID-19 Mountain Economy, Adaptation, Innovation and Acceleration. The summit was held on the occasion of United Nations International Mountain Day. We recently covered this point in the last news, that when International Mountain Day celebrated, so all the students, I am requesting you all the students that do have to tell me the answer of this International Mountain Day in the comment box. And so in the comment box, you can basically provide me with the date. So I will check all the comment box. So provide me answer within the comment box. Konark K. Sangma, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, was the guest of honor of this event. So remember, Konark K. Sangma, and the students who belong to Uttarakhand, that is very important question for you guys. Konark K. Sangma, Chief Minister of Meghalaya, was the guest of honor, not the chief guest. Chief guest was the Chief Minister of the Uttarakhand, Trivendra Singh Rawat ji. But Konark K. Sangma was the guest of honor of this event. And guys, Uttarakhand state is very important because there is a Jim Corbett National Park is there, oldest national park of India. There is Valley of Flowers National Park. There is a biosphere reserve, that is Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve, also in Uttarakhand. Out of 18, one biosphere reserve is in Uttarakhand, that is Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. Now we are moving to the next question. Which country successfully launched Angara A5 heavy lift space rocket? The name, main keyword is the name, Angara A5, and the country is Russia. Country is Russia. You can remember Angara A5 belongs to Russia. This is the main keyword, and this is the smart work, because every student is doing hard work, but with the hard work you have to do smart work also, because by the option you can basically clear this question if you know this Angara 5 and it is belongs to Russia. This is nothing. Russia successfully test launched its heavy lift Angara A5 space rocket. You can also see here, it is the second successful test flight, because already they tested in 2014. It was the first test, but now in 2020 they are doing the second successful test flight. Angara is a new series of space launchers being built by Russia after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Angara A5 will replace already existing Proton M rocket, because Angara A5 has more capacity to carry the payloads. That's why this is a new type of the series, Angara A5. Angara rockets are fueled by the oxygen and the kerosene rather than the heptile, which makes it more environment friendly. It means they will use the oxygen and the kerosene, so it will become the more environment friendly. Angara is named after a Siberian river flowing out of the Lake Baikal. So you have to remember this Lake Baikal, and it is flowing out of the Lake Baikal, named is Angara. So it is a name of a Siberian river. So remember these points, these are very important. And this Angara A5 is basically built and launched by the agency, the space agency of the Russia, that is Roscosmos. Remember Roscosmos. You have to remember this. And where is the headquarters of this space agency of Russia? That is in Moscow, Russia. Now we are moving to next question. Which bank launched FX4U? This is the main keyword of this question. FX4U, a tech product for forex remittance through internet banking. So 2 or 3 things you have to remember under this question. One is this forex remittance. It means if you are if your relatives in other country, but you are living, or the other persons are living in this country, then they want to transfer the money in this country, then you will use this word forex remittance. If it means if someone is sending money to you from the foreign country, then it is known as the forex remittance. So by the internet banking, now people can use this forex remittance service, and this is launched by which bank? This is launched by, guys, Canara Bank. Remember this is launched by Canara Bank, and FX stands for forex for you. It means forex remittance is now possible by the internet banking, and this is launched by Canara Bank. So very simple question. So now most important thing under this question is about Canara Bank. And recent news, in April 2020, this Canara Bank and one bank is merged under one bank. And this bank name is the Syndicate Bank. You have to remember this. Syndicate Bank is now merged under the Canara Bank. And this Canara Bank was founded in 1906. What is the tagline? Tagline is Together We Can. Together We Can. Who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer? L.V. Prabhakar. Remember, L.V. Prabhakar. And where is the headquarter? Bengaluru, Karnataka. Remember the headquarter because Maxim Banks has headquarter in the Maharashtra. But this bank has headquarter in Bengaluru, Karnataka. So remember this, Karnataka. So you can see here, Canara Bank launched forex remittance through the net banking. So remember this, FX for you. So you can remember the news by this only keyword. And you can see here the cutting of Economic Times. That is also saying that Canara Bank launches the FX for you. So now moving to our next section, that is the important section. And in the important questions, here is our first question. Who released a Vision 2035 public health surveillance in India? Especially this Vision 2035 is dedicated to public health, so that you can see in the COVID-19 that our public health basically collapsed, and we are somehow managed, but it is not up to date. So to up to date this public health system, we are basically preparing a document so that maximum to maximum public health system can be improved, and this document is known as the Vision 2035, and this is launched by Niti Aayog. This is the most important thing under this question. You don't have to need to revise any other thing. So remember, this Vision 2035 is released by Niti Aayog, and it is basically focused on the public health. And Niti Aayog, you all know, Niti Aayog chairman is Prime Minister. Who is the vice chairman? That is Rajiv Kumar, Dr. Rajiv Kumar. And who is the CEO? Amitabh Kant. Remember these three-person name, very important. You can see here Niti Aayog released Vision 2035 on the public health surveillance in India, and it is a white paper. And the main university under this, that is very important, University of Manitoba. So remember, University of Manitoba, you can see here Manitoba, and it is in Winnipeg, Canada. So this university and Niti Aayog basically co-developed this type of the report. This is known as the Vision 2035, and maximum to maximum public health can be improved by the Ayushman Bharat scheme, which was launched by the Prime Minister Modi ji, also known as the Jan Arogya scheme, under which 5 lakh rupees given to per person, not per person, per family. 5 lakh rupees per family per year for the secondary and the tertiary care, also for the hospitalization across public and the private impaneled hospitals in India. This is basically the Jan Arogya scheme. So all you know about the Jan Arogya. So now we are moving to next question. eWire Softtech Private Limited, under the Kerala startup mission, launched eWire prepaid card in partnership with which bank? It means this company launched the co-branded cards with which bank, and the bank name is Yes Bank. So you have to remember, it means by the introduction of this eWire prepaid card, or the Yes Bank prepaid card, the customers of eWire can avail the convenience of the digital payments. Now they can use this prepaid card for the digital payments, or can use the eWire app for the digital payments. It means the eWire app powered by the Yes Bank, and also the RuPay card, which was already tied up with the eWire Softtech. You can see the card shape. This is eWire, this is Yes Bank, this is the RuPay card. It means RuPay card already tied up with the eWire. Now they tie up with the Yes Bank. So you can see here eWire Softtech ties up with the Yes Bank for prepaid card, accept more with the every purchase. It means the eWire app powered by the Yes Bank prepaid cards helps many customers to join the banking system. Now moving to next question. International Tea Day. International Tea Day, it is not the United Nations Tea Day. Remember, both are different. International Tea Day 2020 is annually celebrated across some countries like India on which day? I am talking about some countries, not the all countries. It means I am not talking about the pan global level. I am talking about the some countries, and it is the International Tea Day. I'm not talking about the United Nation Tea Day. I am repeating again. I am not talking about the United Nation Tea Day. So guys, tell me answer. And this day is celebrated in some countries like India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, so many countries. But it is celebrated on the 15th of December. You have to remember this, 15th of December. But there is one more day, that is United Nation International Tea Day. That is celebrated on 21st May. 21st May is basically celebrated because the main tea production season is starting on the 21st of May in many countries. That's why 21st of May is celebrated by the United Nations International Tea Day. And you have to remember, International Tea Day, if it comes in the simple form in some countries like in India, then it is on the 15th of December. So remember this. And main organization which is related to this day is FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. Where is the headquarters? That is in Rome, Italy. So we are moving to next question, and it is a name of a book, The Shaurya Unbound. So remember the name of the book. It is very important, The Shaurya Unbound, and it is related to the CRPF. So remember, this is related to the CRPF, and this book specially covers the Parliament attack of 2001. Parliament attack of the 2001, especially the 5 terrorist groups like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and other groups. And in this attack, 9 people including 6 Delhi police personals were killed. So remember, all the terrorists were killed outside the parliament, and this is a very brave act by the CRPF. So this book is written by the team of the CRPF, but most important person you can see here, the lady in the dress, and this lady name is Miss Neetu. Remember, Neetu. And she is currently posted as the Deputy Inspector General, not Deputy Director, Deputy Inspector General of the Central Reserve Police Force. And you can see here, Om Birla, the Speaker of Lok Sabha, he released these books in English as well as in Hindi. You can remember the name, the Shaurya Unbound, and it is related to the CRPF, especially the attack of the parliament. And who wrote, the main person is MS Neetu. Otherwise, there is a team of the CRPF who wrote this book. So next question, I already covered this question under the 15th of December, but I am repeating again so that you can remember. Recently, the former Indian player of which game, Dharamlingam Ethiraj, passed away? The answer was football. So remember the name, it is important. Now guys, there is one question we can't cover in the question and answer format, but you can cover this question from the picture. It is a learn from picture series, and it is United Nations Environment Award. Remember, this award is given for the environmental personalities who save our environment or who took some leadership for the saving of the environment. So there are 2 ways. Either you can remember these 6 names, or you can remember the one name, because one name is most important, because one person belongs to the Prime Minister of Fiji. One person is a Prime Minister of Fiji. That's why this question becomes the important question. So you can remember either the first name, Dr. Fabian, Mindy, Yakuba, Professor Robert, Frank and Nemonte. You can remember these names, or you can just read these names so that by option you can pick these names. And the most important here is Frank Bainimarama. Frank Bainimarama is currently the Prime Minister of Fiji. So you have to remember the name. And this award is given under the 5 categories like policy leadership. You can see in the image, policy leadership, science and innovation, entrepreneurial vision, inspiration and action, and Earth Lifetime Achievement Award. So you can just revise these 6 names, because 2 persons are awarded under the inspiration and action. Just remember this person named Frank Bainimarama, or just remember the Frank, who is currently the Prime Minister of Fiji. So the organization which is important is UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. And where is the headquarters? Nairobi, Kenya. Who is the executive director? Inger Anderson. So one more person, that is eminent aerospace scientist, very important person, Professor Rodham Narasimha, passed away. He died at the age of 87, but he was very eminent in the aerospace scientist category. Why? Because he was the director of CSIR NAL. CSIR, all you know, that Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. NAL stands for National Aerospace Laboratories. He was director of National Aerospace Laboratories from 1984 to 1993. It means for the 9 years he was as a director of the National Aerospace Laboratories. And he was also authored a book, very famous book, Developments in Fluid Mechanics and Space Technology, along with the former president Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. That's why I am saying this name is very important, Rodham Narasimha. That he received Padam Bhushan and Padam Vibhushan also. Padam Bhushan in 1987 and Padam Vibhushan in 2013. But the examiner will not ask that when he received the Padam Bhushan or the Padam Vibhushan, but the examiner only can ask the name, Rodham Narasimha, or the examiner can ask the field this person is related to, aerospace scientist. Remember this. Now we are moving to our last section, that is the one-liner important points. First is the RBI approves the reappointment of Uday Kotak as the MD and CEO of the Kotak Mahindra Bank. Already Uday Kotak is currently the MD and CEO of the Kotak Mahindra Bank, but he reappointed for the 3 years. You have to remember, for 3 years. Next, global electricity demand in 2020 expected to fall by 2%. Due to pandemic. It is by the Electricity Market Report of 2020. Who released this report? That is IEA. Remember who released this report? IEA, International Energy Agency. Where is the headquarters? Paris, France. Remember this. And one more important thing, the electricity demand will grow by 3%. Grow by 3% in 2021, and especially in the China and India. But in 2020, it will expected to fall by 2% because so many industries shut down during the COVID-19. Next is SpaceX first super heavy lift Starship exploded during return landing attempt. You can just remember the name of this SpaceX aircraft who basically you can say exploded, and the name is SN8 rocket. Next, Sahitya Academy Award winning Malayalam writer UA Khader passes away at the age of 85. So he was very famous in the Malayalam writing field. Remember, Malayalam writer name is UA Khader. UA Khader. He was died in the age of 85, but you have to remember he received this very prestigious award, Sahitya Academy Award, in 2009. So remember, he wrote so many books, but you have to remember the name UA Khader. Next, UN International Tea Day on the 21st of May. I already covered, but in some countries it is celebrated on the 15th of December. Hyderabad city is also known as the Biryani, capital of India and city of pearls. Now guys, we are moving to our next section, that is answer of the 15th of December 2020 question. I asked you the question in the 15th of December video. Now there is a time to answer this question. You can see here, which is the most searched word in India as per the Google Trends 2020, and maximum students are right under, because I read all the comments, and the answer is IPL. And the answer is very simple, IPL. IPL is the most searched word in the India as per the Google Trends 2020. Now, we are now moving to the question of the day. It means the 16th of December question. And you can see the question. Which field does the recent launched UNESCO Bangladesh Banga Bandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman International Prize by UNESCO adopted on its 210th Executive Board belongs to? In simple word, you can say UNESCO recently started an award, that is Bangladesh Banga Bandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman International Prize. It is a $50,000 prize, and this prize will be given under which field? So all the students, I am requesting you that you have to answer this question in the comment box. So I will read all the comment box and you have to answer from these 5 options. So guys, this is all for today, and we will upload the 17th of December video by after this video. It means at the 10 o'clock we will upload this video at most today. And please subscribe our channel. Please press the bell button so that you can receive the video on time and with the notification also. And guys, please press the press like button, because we want 700 plus likes. Because if you want more videos on the different topics, then you have to provide these likes. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section, definitely guys. And it is my personal promise that Affairs Cloud, if you are watching the Affairs Cloud videos and if you are reading the Affairs Cloud PDFs, then your current affair section will definitely go strong, because 90% of the current affair in your exams comes from R PDFs and the R videos. That is the very important section. Thank you guys for improving our experience and keep supporting us. Thank you guys for take care.